All right, Libra, let's get into your reading. So, the message that I have for you today is this, and it carries real weight. This person stares at you like you invented color, and they cannot help themselves around you. You hold a kind of beauty that haunts them, and it has wrapped itself around their every thought. They did not plan to feel this intensely, and yet something inside them shattered wide open. Something about your presence strips away their defenses, and they stand before you entirely unguarded now. Nobody else registers on their radar anymore, and that shift happened the moment you entered their world. They have compared every face to yours, and each time the conclusion remains exactly the same. You are the only person who moves them this way, and they have stopped pretending otherwise. Their longing for you has become a permanent condition, and nothing they try makes it quiet down. You consume their waking hours completely, and even in their dreams, they find themselves reaching for you. What terrifies them most is how natural it feels, and they keep gravitating toward you without control. Now, the first card we have for you is the Empress, and she tells me everything. Your presence alone awakens something primal in them, and the Empress says that pull is undeniable. A radiance pours from you without even trying, and it overwhelms this person every single time. The Empress reveals that your femininity holds a gravity, and it pulls them in without any resistance. They worship the ground you walk upon, and this card says that devotion runs through their bones. You represent abundance to them in every form, and they cannot stop marveling at what you embody. The way you nurture the world around you captivates them, and the Empress confirms that magnetic force. Their admiration goes beyond your appearance, and it reaches into the way you make everything feel alive. Each detail about you becomes something they memorize, and they carry those small treasures everywhere they go. You have this effortless warmth about you, and the Empress says it is the thing that ruined them. The next card coming through is the Knight of Cups, and this one speaks volumes about devotion. This knight charges forward with his heart fully exposed, and that mirrors how this person approaches you. They refuse to dilute what they feel for you, and every word they speak drips with raw intention. The Knight of Cups shows a romantic pursuit that never wavers, and this person embodies that completely. Their desire to reach you borders on obsession, and the Knight confirms they have chosen only you. You occupy a throne inside their mind, and no other name could ever replace yours in that space. Every romantic gesture they consider begins and ends with you, and the Knight validates that singular focus. Nothing shallow exists in what they carry for you, and their feelings have roots that go impossibly deep. This person would walk through fire if you asked them to, and the Knight says they mean it. Their loyalty toward you has already been decided, and it was never a question for them. The Two of Cups appears right after that, and this card paints a very specific picture between you. It reveals a mutual exchange of energy flowing both ways, and you have felt that invisible thread. What separates this bond from everything else is balance, and the Two of Cups illuminates that perfectly. Your souls recognize each other across crowded rooms, and that recognition shook this person to their core. They crave exclusivity with you because nothing else satisfies them, and no other connection even compares. This card confirms that you both vibrate on the same frequency, and that alignment is extraordinarily rare. The final card pulling through is the Ace of Wands, and it brings raw, passionate energy forward. This ace ignites a fire inside of them whenever you cross their thoughts, and it burns relentlessly. Their attraction to you holds an urgency that keeps building, and the Ace of Wands confirms that entirely. You have sparked something permanent inside of this person, and they want to pursue it with everything. That flame refuses to die down, no matter how much time passes, and it only grows more intense. The cards confirm one undeniable truth about this connection, and it is that you are profoundly wanted. Something powerful has been shifting inside of you lately, and your spirit already knows what it is. You have been carrying a quiet confidence recently, and it radiates from you in ways you underestimate. A deeper version of yourself emerged from the shadows, and you can feel that transformation in your bones. Your intuition has grown sharper than it ever was, and you trust it now above every outside voice. Something unlocked within you not long ago, and it changed the way you see your own reflection. You stopped shrinking yourself to fit into smaller spaces, and that decision alone altered your entire frequency. The way you carry yourself now holds a stillness, and people notice it without you saying a word. Your energy walks into rooms well before you do, and it commands attention you never had to request. A softness lives inside your strength that makes you magnetic, and you have only begun to see it. You have weathered storms that should have broken you apart, and instead they carved you into something rare. The first card showing up on your side is the star, and it confirms everything about your glow. You survived things that should have dimmed your light permanently, and instead they polished you into brilliance. Every scar you carry became a testament to survival, and those marks now glow with earned authority. The star says you carry hope like a weapon, and it guards you even when you feel exposed. Your healing arrived without fanfare or noise, and yet it reshaped every corner of who you are. You radiate a peace now that once felt impossible, and the star reflects that calm right back. Seasons existed when you doubted your own worth entirely, and those chapters are finally closing behind you now. The star confirms you entered a period of deep alignment, and your soul finally recognizes its own path. Everything you endured was building toward this exact moment, and the cards want you to truly see that. You deserve to receive the same devotion you pour outward, and that truth is settling in deeply. Your heart remained wide open through every storm it faced, and the star says that resilience defines you. The wounds you collected along the way became wisdom, and that wisdom now guides every choice you make. Nobody taught you how to keep loving after pain, and yet you mastered it entirely on your own. The next card arriving for you is the Nine of Cups, and it speaks to emotional fulfillment. You stand closer to having everything you wished for, and the Nine of Cups proves that completely. Satisfaction has been building quietly beneath your surface, and soon it will overflow into your entire life. The Nine of Cups reveals a contentment blooming within you, and it has nothing to do with validation. You found your own value without needing outside approval, and that independence made you infinitely more magnetic. Joy has started visiting you in unexpected little moments, and you catch yourself smiling without any reason. Your emotional maturity reached a depth most people never touch, and the Nine of Cups celebrates that growth. You stopped accepting crumbs when you knew your worth demanded the whole table, and that shift stays permanent. Your standards rose because your awareness of yourself deepened, and the Nine of Cups honors that evolution. The final card on your side is the Queen of Wands, and she mirrors your fire right back. You carry a boldness now that refuses to apologize for itself. And the Queen says, own every bit. Your passion has become your compass now, and it leads you toward connections that match your full intensity. The Queen of Wands confirms you stepped into your full power, and nothing will pull you back. You move through the world with warmth that disarms people, and your laughter alone shifts entire atmospheres. Doubt tried to convince you that you were too much, and you finally stopped believing that old lie. You learned that being too much for the wrong people means, quite simply, you are perfect for one. Your creative energy flows without resistance now, and the Queen of Wands says that current only strengthens. You have become the version of yourself that younger you always dreamed about, and the cards recognize her. Standing in your full light feels effortless now, and nothing about your presence needs to be dimmed anymore. The cards on your side reveal one cohesive truth, and it is that your soul is fully awake. This person has been fighting a war inside their own chest, and nobody around them even suspects it. They carry a longing so heavy it bends their posture, and they disguise it behind smiles every day. Their mind circles back to one thought constantly, and that thought always wears your name, without exception. They lay awake replaying moments they shared with you, and each memory burns brighter than the last one. Vulnerability terrifies them more than anything else does, and yet something about this connection demands they surrender. They built walls over years of disappointment, and those walls tremble every time they think of you. Pride has been the only armor they trust, and admitting how much they want this scares them deeply. Their silence does not mean absence of feeling, and behind that quiet exterior lives an emotional hurricane. The first card revealing their energy is the moon, and it exposes what they have been hiding inside. The moon says they operate from a place of deep fear, and that fear distorts how they respond. They second guess their own worthiness constantly, and the moon confirms those doubts have paralyzed their actions. Confusion clouds their judgment whenever emotions surface, and they retreat into shadows rather than face what they feel. This person battles illusions about whether they deserve something this pure, and the moon illuminates that struggle. Their past left scars that whisper cruel reminders, and those voices grow louder whenever happiness feels possible. The moon reveals they walk through emotional fog constantly, and clarity only appears when they focus on you. They wrestle with parts of themselves they never show anyone, and those hidden fragments ache for your acceptance. Their fear of rejection runs deeper than most people realize, and it shapes every hesitation they display outward. The moon confirms they feel exposed in ways that make them uncomfortable, and that rawness overwhelms their logic. Nighttime amplifies everything they suppress during the day, and your face haunts their thoughts when darkness arrives. They crave resolution but lack the courage to initiate it, and the moon says that tension keeps growing. The next card pulling through for them is the King of Pentacles, and it reveals their deeper intentions. This king represents stability and commitment at the deepest level, and that is what they crave with you. The King of Pentacles confirms they envision building something permanent, and their desire goes far beyond just romance. They want to provide safety and structure around this connection, and the king says that ambition is genuine. Their protective instincts toward you run on a primal level, and the King of Pentacles validates that drive. They imagine constructing a future that shelters you both, and every blueprint in their mind includes you. The King of Pentacles says they measure success differently, and it revolves around whether they could protect you. Material gestures feel inadequate to them because what they want to offer stretches far beyond the tangible. They hold a vision of loyalty most people only romanticize, and this king says they live by it. Commitment is not a word they throw around casually, and the King of Pentacles confirms that deep conviction. The final card on their side is the Six of Swords, and it signals a transition already underway. This person has been moving away from old patterns, and the Six of Swords says that shift accelerated. They recognize that staying stuck in fear costs them everything, and they have started choosing differently now. The Six of Swords shows them leaving behind emotional baggage, and each step forward points directly toward you. Their healing is not complete, but it has momentum, and the Six confirms they refuse to turn back. Calmer waters await them on the other side of this passage, and they sense that peace involves you. The Six of Swords reveals quiet determination growing within them, and that resolve strengthens with each passing day. They chose growth over comfort at last, and the cards say that decision was made entirely for you. Their inner world is messy and tender and evolving, and every card confirms they are moving toward resolution. The cards on their side reveal a soul in transformation, and that journey leads nowhere except to you. Now let us talk about what is actually happening and the movement the cards are showing right now. Things are not standing still between you two, and there is forward motion building beneath the surface already. The energy between you has reached a tipping point, and gravity is pulling both sides toward collision. A decision has been forming in their mind, and it pushes them closer to taking real action. They have been gathering courage in small doses, and each dose brings them one step nearer to you. Conversations are about to shift in tone soon, and what used to feel guarded will become openly direct. The timing around this connection is accelerating rapidly, and the cards confirm that delays are losing their grip. Small signs have already started appearing around you, and each one confirms that movement is no longer optional. Messages or calls may arrive when you least expect them, and the content will carry surprising honesty. A window of opportunity is opening between you both, and neither side will be able to ignore it. Plans are being made behind the scenes right now, and those plans involve reaching out to you specifically. The first card driving the action forward is the Eight of Wands, and it signals rapid acceleration ahead. The Eight of Wands says everything speeds up from this point, and communication arrives fast and without warning. Delays that plagued this connection before are dissolving now, and the Eight confirms that momentum cannot be stopped. What once felt stagnant now carries urgent momentum, and the Eight confirms that rhythm picks up fast. News travels quickly toward you with this card present, and the Eight of Wands says expect the unexpected. Obstacles that once blocked progress have cleared the path, and nothing remains standing between contact and follow-through. This card represents swift, decisive energy in motion, and it confirms that waiting around has officially ended here. The Eight of Wands shows multiple things happening at once, and each one pushes this situation forward rapidly. Travel or physical meetings factor into what unfolds next, and the Eight says distance will not remain. Their next move comes sooner than you anticipate, and the Eight of Wands confirms it carries real weight. Digital communication lights up around this card specifically, and texts or notifications arrive loaded with clear purpose. The next card in the action position is the Chariot, and it represents willpower and determined forward movement. The Chariot says this person has locked onto their target, and that target is undeniably you right now. Hesitation gets replaced by focused drive with this card, and the Chariot confirms they will push through resistance. Obstacles that intimidated them before now look smaller, and the Chariot says they will charge through without hesitation. They are steering this situation with newfound control, and every choice they make from here serves one direction. The Chariot demands action over contemplation, and this person has reached the point where thinking alone feels insufficient. Victory follows those who refuse to quit, and the Chariot says this person will not back down easily. Their approach becomes more strategic moving forward, and the Chariot confirms they have mapped out their next steps. External circumstances are aligning to support movement, and doors that stayed shut before are starting to open. The universe removed enough barriers to make contact possible, and the Chariot confirms the road ahead is clear. The final action card is the Page of Swords, and it brings sharp mental clarity into the picture. This page represents a new perspective cutting through old confusion, and fresh ideas about contact are forming fast. The Page of Swords says they are gathering information before making a move, and that research involves you. They want to approach this correctly with precision, and the page confirms that carelessness is not an option. Curiosity drives their next steps more than impulse does, And the Page of Swords validates that calculated energy. Watch for this person observing your movements or presence. And the page says they are paying close attention. Their focus narrowed onto you with surgical precision. And the Page of Swords says that intensity only sharpens. New conversations emerge carrying intellectual weight behind them. And the Page of Swords says those exchanges shift everything. The action cards paint a clear timeline of movement, and what follows arrives with both speed and intent. Now we move into what they would never say out loud, and these are the confessions buried deepest. If they could sit before you with no fear, the first thing out of their mouth is this. They would say that losing you is the one outcome they cannot survive, and they mean it completely. Their pride has swallowed words that belonged to you, and those unspoken truths rot inside them daily. They rehearse conversations with you inside their head, and none of those rehearsals ever reach your ears. Unspoken weight has started pressing against their chest, and your absence amplifies that pressure every single night. Jealousy flares whenever they imagine your attention elsewhere, and admitting that out loud would destroy their composure. They compare every connection they encounter to you, and nothing registers on their radar, even remotely close. A confession lives on the tip of their tongue permanently, and fear keeps pushing it back down again. The first card exposing their hidden truth is the Devil, and it reveals obsession they refuse to name. Their attachment to you borders on compulsion, and the Devil confirms they cannot break free, even when trying. This card uncovers a craving so intense it frightens them, and the Devil confirms they have lost control. They think about you in ways that terrify them, and vulnerability is exactly what they avoid the most. The Devil reveals they tried walking away from this feeling, and each attempt collapsed before it ever started. Possession stirs inside them whenever your name surfaces around others, and the Devil says that instinct runs primal. They would never admit how territorial their thoughts become, and the Devil says that possessiveness only deepens. Their desire for you operates beneath conscious thought, and the Devil confirms it has embedded itself permanently now. No distraction has ever worked for them, and every substitute they tried only amplified the wanting beyond reason. The Devil exposes a truth they guard fiercely, and it is that you own a piece of them. Admitting dependency contradicts everything they project outward, and that contradiction tortures them more than you will ever know. Their secret is that surrender happened long ago, and the Devil says resistance at this point is theater. The next card carrying their confession is the Seven of Cups, and it reveals fantasies they never share. An entire imaginary life with you exists in their mind, and the Seven of Cups lays it bare. They fantasize about ordinary moments together more than grand gestures, and those quiet daydreams consume their afternoons. Waking up beside you replays on an endless loop in their head, and the seven confirms that vision. Their imagination constructs scenarios where you chose them fully, and each fantasy feels more real than actual life. Sometimes the daydream is the only thing keeping them stable, and the Seven of Cups confirms that truth. Every version of happiness they build includes you at the center, and removing you collapses the whole picture. Your voice lives inside their memory on a permanent loop, and they replay it whenever loneliness hits hardest. Confessing everything to you plays out in their fantasies nightly, and fear dissolved them before they could speak. The final confession card is the King of Cups, and it holds the deepest secret they carry inside. Beneath every wall lives a soul desperate to love you openly, and the King of Cups confirms that. Emotional surrender already happened behind closed doors, and the King of Cups says their resistance is hollow performance. Protecting their pride costs them more than rejection ever could, and the King says they recognize that fully. They understand exactly what you need from them emotionally, and the King of Cups confirms they withhold deliberately. What holds them back is not absence of love, and the King says it is terror of loss. No other soul has ever consumed them this completely, and the King of Cups validates that confession entirely. The King of Cups says they already belong to you emotionally, and pretending otherwise drains them beyond measure. Every mask they wear around you exhausts them, and the confession underneath is that they want to stop. The hidden confessions reveal devotion drowning in silence, and every card confirms they ache to finally surface. What they carry without speaking says more than words ever could, and these cards exposed it without mercy. Now let us look at what the near future holds, and the cards are speaking with absolute clarity. The weeks ahead carry a pivotal shift, and what has been building between you two finally peaks. Communication that felt blocked before opens wide, and words trapped inside both of you break free at last. Expect a moment of raw honesty arriving soon, and that conversation changes the entire landscape between you. Their walls come down in a way you never witnessed, and vulnerability replaces every guard they carried. The first card shaping your near future is the World, and it signals completion of a major cycle. Everything has been leading to this exact chapter, and the World says what begins now carries real destiny. A chapter that tested your patience finally reaches resolution, and the World confirms you survived the hardest part. This card represents wholeness arriving after a long journey, and you earned every piece of this through endurance. Recognition from this person comes in a form you did not expect, and it validates everything you sensed. The world confirms that alignment between you reaches its highest point, and timing finally cooperates with both hearts. Doors that refused to open before now swing wide, and the world says you walk through them together. A sense of completion washes over this entire connection, and the world confirms that resolution is not temporary. The next card in the future position is the Ten of Cups, and it represents fulfillment realized. The Ten of Cups says the love you craved materializes, and it arrives with lasting stability beneath it. Happiness settles into this connection like it always belonged, and the Ten confirms that feeling is truly permanent. This card paints a picture of mutual contentment, and the Ten of Cups says both sides finally exhale. What once felt uncertain now carries real commitment, and the 10 validates that the foundation is absolutely solid. Joy stops visiting temporarily and decides to stay permanently, and the Ten of Cups